Hello, everybody. Good evening. How you doing? What's up? Um, I was I'm trying to write. Uh, I'm trying to write a story about not write, but I want to share something today that maybe I don't know. I already put it in my description, but I want to share it more live so everybody could see what's going on with my hands up. Anyway, what I don't understand is, like I said in my descriptions, I look at this the dating sites, people looking for love, looking for companionship, looking for this, for that, and I take a look at these people and I ask, really, you're freaking old like myself, 70 years old, and you're over here still looking for love, still want to jump in back into a relationship that maybe perhaps you had 5 men, 10 men, or you had 10 women, and now then didn't work out for you, and you're still looking. I ask myself that question. I say, is it worth it to be looking and looking to find somebody? I mean, they are old men and women that, believe it or not, that can still perform in bed. They could still perform. They could still um, you know, have that stand that have that energy, libido, whatever that thing is, and they're like 80 years old and 70, all that crap, and 60 and all that kind of stuff. And wow, that's crazy. There's people that still have that strength. And maybe, I don't know, I'm not trying to put nobody down. It's just that, you know, jumping back into a relationship, jumping back into that arena of love and falling in love and going out, traveling and get to know each other. I mean, I don't, I don't know. Sometimes I look at that. I take a look at those people on the dating sites, and I feel sorry for myself, and I feel sorry for them too, because it's like, what the heck should I do? Should I continue with this? Should I jump in after two failed attempts? After my two ex-wives, they cheated on me, they left me for somebody else. It's not because I'm ugly. It's not because I was an evil man. Not because I was a bad man. I was what we say in Spanish, un cabrón. Some freaking guy that is stupid and idiot, whatever. I wasn't that type of man. Honestly, to God, God is my witness. I'm not that type of man. I'm not that type of man, you know, to really go out with somebody and mistreat them very bad, like some people do. Okay, I'm gonna confess. I'm gonna confess. I had relationships in the past besides getting married. I had relationships that didn't work out, that I had to walk away from, that to me it didn't deem serious enough with this person. And some of those people, God forgive me. I gotta confess. I know that some of them they got hurt, and I'm sorry. I wish I could meet them in person one day and tell them I'm sorry. But the thing was that I had my reasons, because not because I wanted to be un cabrón, not because I wanted to be a freaking shenanigan. And you know what I mean? It was just that, how can I say it? Is that it's like, it's like, how can I say it, Jesus? You know, it's just that I couldn't see myself with this person. Period. Or because, or because, not too much because of me, because I didn't do nothing wrong. I didn't commit adultery. I wasn't seeing another woman, whatever. It's just that I don't know. Maybe I got a third eye. I don't. Maybe I got an eye over here that I could see the future. I don't know what it is. All I know that in many instances I was able to see the future with this person. That is why I backed out. That's why I said, you know what? I don't want to do this because we're going to end up getting hurt, or I'm going to end up hurting her, or she will end up hurting me. And I see already that this not going to go nowhere. And it's true. And a lot of times I find out that I was right. And and of course, a lot of times I walked away from relationships. I'm not going to lie to you. I walked away and I hurt a couple of hearts. And like I said, I wish I could meet these people and apologize to them. But it was not my intention to hurt them or anything like that. It was just that, honest to God, I just, for some reason, these people had something. They had something that showed me, that demonstrated to me that something wasn't right. You get the hunch, you get the funny feeling, like, that Twilight Zone Dean, you know what I mean? And you go, what the hell, like, this person, I don't know, this questionable. That's what I'm talking about. It's questionable. It's a questionable thing. With the person, just by the action and the way they are, they become very questionable. And you begin to question things. You begin to go like, why? So when you have questions, when you got too many questions about that person, that means that you either pull out, get out before it gets worse, because that's what I did. I said I got out before it got worse. Even though they got hurt, even though they didn't like it, even though they feel bad about it, I didn't have no intention whatsoever. It was just that I was trying to save my life. I was trying to save myself from problems and troubles and headaches and toxic stuff, and from drama, all that crap. That's what it was. My first wife left me for somebody else, and the signs were there, but I couldn't see it clearly until she went with somebody else and got pregnant. And I said, oh. Then my second wife, I waited 15 years. I got married again with a Mexican woman. And this time, I mean, I thought that I found the fountain of youth. I thought that I found the perfect wife. I thought that I found the woman of my life, which I thought I did. I had these dreams, and I had these aspirations in my heart when I met this woman. She was so nice and so beautiful. And at the beginning, see, this is the trick. At the beginning, in the beginning, God made the heavens and the earth, and then all of a sudden the devil got in the middle, it messed up everything like that. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, in that respect, all due respect to my God, to Jehovah God. What I try and say is that when I moved in with her, that's when everything changed. She became very toxic. She began to show signs of toxicity, toxic person, narcissist, controlling, manipulating. And I said, oh my God. what the hell? And I began to call upon the Lord and crying to God and calling upon God, say, God, help me. God, show me what's going on here. And the more I prayed, the more God began to point out things to me about this woman, that this woman wasn't even fit to get married, even though she been married a couple of times. She got three big daughters. She got four grandchildren, whatever. But this woman was never a marriage material. That's what I'm trying to say. There are people that are not marriage material. Jesus said that there's a lot of people that are called for that life of getting married, and those that are able, Jesus said, they're able to deal with it. They're able to accept that life. But God said that some people are called for that life, and some are not. So those that are not are fighting like hell to make it work, and it doesn't work. And they keep failing and failing and failing. So I think I find myself in that situation. I find myself like, even though I'm a good man, very lovable, very affectionate, I love to communicate a lot. I like to communicate with a person. I like to keep the conversation going. I'm not the timid guy. Sometimes I conclude with myself. I say maybe I wasn't a marriage material either. Even though I have a daughter from my first woman that I had. We were not married, but we have a daughter. She's 32 and she got five kids now. I think the fifth one, I think, was born this week. And of course, my three stepdaughters in Mexico. And and I always ask myself this question: am I marriage material? That's the question you got to be asking yourself. Am I marriage material? In other words, am I really called for that life? Am I really designed? Am I really called for this? Am I really, this is my calling? What is it? That two marriages didn't work out, all because both of them, they walked out of my life. Both of them, they try to be funny. They try to be a smart aleck and all that crap. And the second wife, like I told you, the Mexican one, I had to get out of there. I had to run. I had to leave. I had to go back to Texas because it was too toxic, too freaking toxic. I cannot deal with toxic people. I cannot deal with a controlling woman, manipulative, freaking narcissist. That is the worst thing that you could meet. So you know what I learned? I learned my lesson. And I hope you learn it too. For now on, I made up my mind. For now on, the next woman that I meet, I'm gonna make sure this time, by the help of God, God help me, please. I will not make the same mistake again. That I will not just fall in love because she's like this, she's like that, whatever. Heck with that. You got a real beautiful woman with beautiful body, beautiful face, or even not beautiful at all, and still be toxic. There are toxic women that are pretty, very gorgeous, and there are women that are ugly and fat that can also be toxic. For your information, okay? So I decided in my heart, I made up my mind that from now on, if I meet another woman, by the help of God, I'm going to make sure I'm going to test this person. I'm going to prove this person. I'm going to investigate this person to find out where she's coming from. And I hope you do the same thing for me. I'm going to investigate you. I'm going to check you out. I'm going to test you. I'm going to find out where the hell you're coming from. Because if you are a controlling freak or narcissist, a freaking toxic person, I promise you that I'm going to leave you right there flat. I'm gonna leave you right there. I'm gonna walk away, and that's it. I don't care if we're in a restaurant, if we're in a dance, we went out for dinner, whatever, and I find out something about you that you're toxic, that you are coquetona. Coquetona is means that you like to show off in front of men. You like men to see you. You want to flip your tits around and your ass around, like my ex-wife was doing. She thought she was 60 something years old, and she still looked gorgeous. She looked like a 30-year-old, and she thought that she because she had this beautiful body and everything, she thought that she could just flap it all over the freaking place. And I had to swallow it. I had to swallow my pride. I had to keep my mouth shut. She's over here acting like a freaking coquetona, showing off, and make sure that everybody see those cleavage there, in front of men, doing things in front of me, in front of men. If you're like that, if you are like that, I recommend, don't get married. Go along your path. Keep going. I'm not gonna marry you. I'm not gonna go out with you. I'm very sorry. I'm too old for this BS. I'm 70 years old. I'm tired of this BS. Find yourself somebody else that will put up with that BS. 'Cause I'm not gonna put up with that, because I don't do that to a woman. I don't go out with a woman and then I'll be coqueteando with other women out there. I don't do that. I'm old fashioned. I respect my woman. Okay, when I fall in love with a woman, I fall in love with a woman, and when I do, I respect that woman. Even if I am alone by myself and there's nobody, my wife is not around, I will still respect her and be respectful to her, like if I'm next to her. Now, if you're the kind of woman, I think you're not marriage material. Don't bother to get married, because you're gonna be wasting your freaking time. You're gonna be wasting that man's time, and you're gonna be wasting everybody else's time. Don't have a wedding ceremony. You're gonna be wasting the judge's time, the guy over there in the court. You're gonna be wasting his time. You're gonna be wasting your family's time, putting up decorations and making a lot of dinner and everything. You're gonna be wasting everybody's time. So I made up my mind that I made up my mind that I'm done with this shit, and that's it. I'm sorry. I don't come here to hurt people's feelings. I come here to tell the truth to the face. I'm not playing games anymore. I don't got time to play games. I'm 70 years old. I'm not 30, 40, 50. I'm 70. And I'm looking for good. I want to meet a woman that is serious, that has her head on her shoulders, that is not coquetona. Coquetona means, you know, that she likes to flash everything all over the place, like she thinks she's Queen Elizabeth, whatever. I'm done with that. If you want to walk around naked around the street, showing everything, do it at your home, in your bedroom with your husband. That's where you do that. When you go outside, you dress modestly according to the Bible. Okay? According to God's word, you dress modestly out there. In the bedroom, you could act like a nut. You could act crazy. You could jump around and do whatever the heck comes out of your underwear. But when you're outside in the street with your man or by yourself, you got to respect yourself. If not, they're going to consider you another slut, like the people think in the world. And I'm sorry to say that, but people think that way. You cannot stop people from thinking that way, but they think that you're a slut. Sorry for the language. So I pray to God. I hope and I pray, I hope that I find that perfect woman that really loves the Lord, that will love me and nobody else, that will respect me. I will respect her. I will protect her. I will be with her in the bad times and the good times. But if you, like I said, if you're gonna come and play around, joke around, hang around, fool around, FAFO, you know what I mean? So be careful because a lot of people cannot put up with a lot of nonsense, like myself. I'm sorry. If this hurt your feelings, I didn't mean to do that. I'm just telling you, it's time to get serious. There are millions and millions of people getting divorced right now around the world. Not right now. Right now it's dark outside. It's what time is it? Quarter is 20 to 9 over here in Texas. But around the world, that is daylight right now. There's people walking into courtrooms everywhere, getting divorced, all because of that BS. People playing around, joking around, not being faithful to their spouse, and that goes for man or woman. And you, men, you respect your wife, love your wife. Don't be coquetón. Don't be that. 'Cause I know we guys we like to be coquetón with girls. Yeah, I'm James Bond. You're not James Bond. You're nothing. Respect your wife, love your wife. You got children, even more. That goes for men and women. Be serious. Be serious and get serious. It's no time to be playing games. We cannot be wasting time. We got children to take care. We got friends. We got families. We got grandkids that they're going to watch you all these days and they're going to think, hey, what happened to this cycle, you know? So be careful. That's what I'm saying. Just like I said, a lot of people are called to be marriage material and some are not. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. Maybe I'm not. My family suggests to me, which I disagree, they suggest to me, they say, oh, okay, Tio, uncle, Tio, just go and move in with somebody, live with her, you know, and then find out if you're meant for each other. But in the biblical in biblically speaking, according to God's word, the Bible, it doesn't work that way. As a Christian, as a God-fearing Christian, you're not supposed to be going around and living with somebody and sleeping around with that woman and pretend that you're gonna get to know her, she's gonna get to know you, and then any moment you could just walk out because you're not married, you don't got a ring, you don't got a marriage contract or nothing. You could just walk out, and it's like nowadays you got this. You could rent a house, month to month rental. The marriage is not month to month rental either. Marriage is a sacred, serious thing, my friend. So take it serious before you make that jump to get married. Make sure that you are marriage material and she's marriage material. If she's a coquetona material and you are a coqueton material, don't get married. You're going to cause people to get headaches. You're going to give that woman a headache. Woman, you're going to give the guy a headache. You're going to end up in court. You're going to end up with pain. You're going to end up destroyed. You're going to end up hurt. You're going to end up crying everywhere. And some people even commit suicide. So be careful, please. So anyway, let us all wish that we can all find somebody and be friends. Take it easy, go out, take her home, you go home, kiss her if you have to, whatever. But sex in the first date, it is wrong. The second, the third, the fourth, I don't care. Wait till you get married before God, and then you have sex. Okay, that's how we're supposed to do it. Okay, you get to know each other first, and then you get married, and then if you're ready, then you go ahead and do what you got to do, and that's it. God bless.